Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talks. In this fantasy video I'm going to go through my Matchday 6 team selection, have a look at some of the transfers I've made already, have a look at some of those I intend to make, also have a quick look at how I got on the Matchday 5 and the tournament in general. So if you enjoy these sorts of videos, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime let's take a look. Let's start by having a look on how I got on in Matchday 5. Not a great matchday, as you can see on screen. The only player that really returned for me was Messi. He got a goal assist, so that was a good return for him. Saka got the penalty, so obviously got points for that. Hernandez lost me points, wow, because he conceded the penalty, and then even not much going on my bench. Captain Richarlison for the first game, he didn't return against Croatia, and then went on to Fernandez, because I just didn't want to go Mbappe, and he didn't return. But to be fair, I don't think I'd ever gone Saka against France, but he would have been the better choice looking back. Some things are just annoying, and I could go on about the whole tournament being slightly annoying. It's the football itself has been fantastic. I'm not going to get drawn into any of the politics around it, but just the game itself, it just feels, I'm not so much frustrated by it, just a little bit saddened that this is the pinnacle of the World Cup and a great opportunity for fantasy players to get involved with a solid competition and just have a level playing field. And it's just been full of so many things. I mean, rules have changed halfway through. They've been unclear. The point system's changed. There's glitches and there's sort of roundabout ways of getting more money. So it's just been horrible so far. I have still enjoyed it, I'm not going to lie to you, but I have been frustrated at the same time in various parts, but I'm going to see this right through to the end. One of the things I think that was a little bit annoying, I looked all through the rules beforehand, still couldn't find it now. It said it didn't really make it clear whether points would be carried on past 90 minutes. I'm sure I played the Euros, and from memory, it stopped at 90 minutes. So if you got a clean sheet at the end of 90 minutes, you got a clean sheet. Whatever, if you concede an extra time, that didn't count towards it. Nothing in the rules made it clear before or after what happened in that. You assume the penalties didn't count the penalty shootout, which I don't think they did. So just little things like that are annoying, because I think it's really hard for a side to keep a clean sheet, even in going forward, because you might get one after 90 minutes, but you still got to go another 30 minutes to get that. So it's been a bit annoying. So I didn't get many Matchday 5. We'll try and claw some points back. I have got a semblance of a team to put forward in the next few rounds, and it'll all be knocked out. So I'm knocking around 400,000. I've been up as high as 100 and something thousand. It's been okay. I have enjoyed it. I'm not wildly upset about it. It could be better or worse. It's just a one-off tournament and have a bit of fun, and I have enjoyed it. But it has been, I feel a little bit sad that FIFA just haven't made more. It could just been so much better. One of the nice things about it, I do like the captaincy, being able to move it from one to another, as did the Euros. I did think about earlier, would it work in the FPL? I'm just not sure. You could do it for the FPL, but I think it'd just make it really complicated and maybe a bit arduous as well. It seems a lot of things to consider already. Quite a simple game made complicated by content providers like us, where you got double game weeks, rotation risk, who's going to play, and then suddenly you throw into the mix about not just the best player, but who you're going to play on the Friday night or Saturday. But it could make it interesting, but I just feel maybe it's just more of a headache, and it makes it more complicated for the layman to kind of get involved. There you go, that's my side. So things to consider moving forward then. We've got 6 players from each team you're allowed to have now going into the semi-finals. We're going to have 5 transfers, and as you see, I've already made use of some of my transfers in the previous match day, so we'll have a look at how I'm going to do it, or who I'm going to bring in for that. What I do think is important to know is that the third place and playoff, so whoever plays in the semi-finals, the losers, winners obviously go into the final and play, but the losers will play each other in a third place playoff. So potentially all these 11 players that you pick now could still play, even if it's in a third place playoff. How much rotation is going to be, is going to be up for grabs, isn't it? It's going to be very difficult to know. If Luka Modric goes out, will he end up playing in the third place playoff because it's his last swan song? Or is it a case of, okay, I'm out, let's give someone else a chance, and he'll go back home to rest? I don't know. It's really hard to predict what will happen there. But the good news is that game will kick off before the final, so should be able to take advantage of the clean team sheets there and have a bit of a differential. So they have, I'm really factored into it for my team selection now, trying to pick the winners of the 2 games to go through to the final, because I know they'll play, but I don't want to use too many transfers if I can avoid it, so I can save some towards the end of it. But even then, I don't think I'll be able to predict the lineups for that third place game. So the semi-finals, we know Croatia will play Argentina first, then it's going to be the Morocco-France game. This is my side as it finished last game. I've only got what, 4 players? Wow, very few. I didn't even realise it was as few as that. But I did have some transfers left over. So at the end of the France-England game, and I felt horrible doing it. I took out 3 players and I brought 3 French players in. I brought Lloris, Rabiot and Giroud because I had 3 transfers left over. So if I clear the rest of these players off, that is my now team that are playing ready for match day 6. Obviously, I'm going to add to that. I've got 5 French players there, bringing in 3 French players at the end of that England game just before the final whistle. I'm not going to lie, it hurt. There you go, Giroud, Rabiot and Hernandez. Hernandez already had, so Giroud, Rabiot, and I needed a goalkeeper because I didn't have a playing one. Lloris looks like the obvious choice to me. So I've got 5 players in there from France already. 5 transfers I've got to make, and I haven't made these. I'm going to wait until the last possible minute until the team sheets come out. Even though I'm pretty sure who's going to play, there's no point taking risks. I'm just going to wait until the last possible minute. Another side note, couldn't take out Captain Bruno. He's obviously locked in quite a bit of money into that midfield. It won't let me transfer him out. It happened the same with De Bruyne. For some reason, there's obviously a catch in the game, whereas if you're captain, you can't transfer out, even though you're not trying to lose his points for that game. I don't think it should be doing that, but that was slightly annoying, but I don't think it actually affects anything anyway. So first player bring in Fernandez. Now, he's been pretty decent tournament so far. He looks absolutely nailed in that Argentinian midfield. He's got a goal, got an assist, got 2 extra points for key passes, 1 for tackle as well. I think he's played every game. I think he came off slightly early, 7th minute in one of the group games. Other than that, he's been absolute focused in that Argentine midfield. And I'm really struggling for players in midfield. I just don't think there's many options whatsoever. And I'm put off by the fact that defenders are going to possibly have to keep 120 minutes clean sheet to get that bonus. So I am looking at, who possibly I can bring in. I've already got the 3 slots up front, Mbappe, Messi and Giroud. I'm happy with those 3. Don't think there's anyone else I would prefer to go for. Possibly could have gone Alvarez instead of Giroud. I just feel his minutes are a little bit of a... I think he'll start, but I think Martinez is a really ready-made option to come up front, which Giroud looks a bit more solid for minutes as well. And I think they have probably a slightly easier game, although there's probably no such thing in the World Cup semi-final. So Giroud gets the nod, but Fernandez comes into midfield. Alongside that, I've got Perisic. Obviously, he plays Croatia. He is playing against Argentina. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist, key pass. I think he's the obvious choice for that Croatian side. Will he play in that 3rd game playoff? Again, it's just guessing game. But he's had a decent tournament so far, so I quite like him. Ziyech as well. I was struggling. I don't really want to play him against France, if I'm honest. Because I think France, they've conceded pretty much... I think they've conceded in every game that I see last night. But Morocco just don't appear to be that aggressive in terms of going forward and scoring many goals. But he has got a goal. He's got 2 key passes. Even got 1 for a tackle in there as well. So Ziyech will make the midfield. I could have gone Buffon if you wanted to go for more money. The only other option I could see is you could possibly go for someone like McAllister if you want another Argentine, or Tchouaméni. But again, they just don't feel very offensive or attacking. The other player I would have looked at is Di Maria, but he, I think because of a knock, has not started the last 2 games. Possibly will he come on and start the next game as he fit? It feels like a risk, but you can wait until the team sheet in order to see if he's playing and then bring you in. So he's one that could possibly bring in. We'll look at again later on. Molina as well at the back. It was either choice between Acuna and Molina. I again don't think there's any French or players that I wanted to go for. Morocco, I know they've been so tight in this World Cup so far. I'm just not sure whether I can trust that they're going to keep a clean sheet against France. That was my only concern. But who knows? What do I know? Possibly. I'll think I'll go prefer Molina. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist. That looks pretty good as well. And that makes up my 11 players for the semi-final. I can adjust that, and I do have 1 transfer left over. And like I said, I do think possibly Di Maria could come in. But I do want to hold that transfer over, see who goes through. If like Morocco gets knocked out, I could then change from Ziyech to someone else who's going to make the final. And then that leaves me with 6 transfers, I think it is. Is it 5 or 6 for the final? Really should have looked at. Then I can start to put that in the rest of the squad and change them according to the clean sheet, in accordance to the team sheet for match for that 3rd, 4th place playoffs. I looked into it. Off the cusp, I thought, surely historically the final's been pretty tight. So actually that 3rd, 4th place playoff should be a more free scoring game, because really no one really wants to be playing in it. There's nothing. The shackles are off a little bit. There's no reason not to be quite aggressive and open football game. But looking back at the stats, I think there's 71 goals in that 3rd place playoff match over in the history of the World Cup, and they missed 2 years. And that was actually less than the World Cup final. So I was wrong with that. I thought the final actually gives more goals than that third place playoff. So, you know, it goes again. I thought that'd be a more open game, but it certainly will have certain players that you wouldn't have been able to, maybe haven't played in the tournament. Does that mean it's an opportunity to get differentials? Don't know. But this is my side that I'm going to go in with, provided they'll start in the first match starting on Tuesday. There you go. Tell me what you think. That's it for this one then. Let me know in the comments below. Is there anyone that I've completely overlooked? Is there a player that you think is essential for match day 6? In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection for match day 7. So, good luck for the rest of match day 6, and I shall speak to you soon.